Welcome back to another episode of Hooner's Garage, and we're cracking on with some more work on the TZR at the moment. I have got the engine to go into it, and I've got all the other bits and pieces, so technically we are in a position to get it up and going and on the road. I'm not doing any of that work today because Toby wants to spend more time in the garage and he really wants to help with the engine. So we've got a half term coming up, so hopefully we can get that done in there. What I'm going to be doing today is, as I said in previous videos, the paint, the Halfords paint, don't seem to be having much joy with that. But the cheap paints on the footlegs certainly seem to go on well. The two colours they do are black and white, but they do matte, satin and gloss in black. I think it was matte and gloss in white, although they didn't have any matte white when I went in there. But I'm still not sure whether it's going to be a white tank with black stripes or a black stripe with black tank with white stripes, or a white tank with black stripes. Get it right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray a test piece. And that's what we're going to start work on today, is that test piece. Let's see how it goes. It will become clear. Stick around, stay tuned, and we'll see what happens. Right, so I went back to the pound shop and I picked up some more bits and pieces. Some masking tape, some grey primer. Again, this is all a pound a can. I have brought the Halfords graphite out again. I'm going to give that another try. The satin black, gloss black, matte black, and gloss white. Like I said, they didn't have the matte white, so I might have to go back in there again. And what I'm going to be painting is this. It's just a big sheet of metal. What it actually is, you can see it's got a shape to it. It's got grips on it. It's to get a wheelchair over a door frame. But that's all it's used for, and we very rarely use it for that. And I'm thinking that if I sand all this down, smooth it all out, prime it, and then I can use, you know, this bit here is gloss black, this bit here as matte black, this bit here as satin black, this bit here as gloss white, matte white, and then that graphite that graphite grey, and then down the middle I can clear coat it or lacquer it down the middle, so we have half of each. One half is clear coat, one half is lacquered, one half isn't. And then I can use the masking tape to mask off stripes, and then I can spray stripes in. I'd lacquer it after I put the stripes in, but then I can put the stripes in, and then I can see what's going to look good. That's the plan. I don't know if I've made it make any sense to you, but that's the plan. So that's what we're cracking on with today. Right, I don't know how well this is going to come out, if you're going to be able to see it on this camera, or even if I use any other camera, to be fair. It's just had a light sand in, just to make it nice and smooth. Not worried about this bit in the middle, because I'm not actually using that bit. It's just these bits I'm going to section off into the different base colours. But before we put the primer on, just a bit of nail polish remover over that, just to make sure it's all clean. Right, so I've covered all of this lot, and that is now propped up. There's the socket set in the toolbox to stop it going over backwards. So I've got that set up ready to spray. I haven't got the tripod with me today, so I haven't got anywhere where I can put the camera. We'll see what's going to happen. But this primer has been shaken for 2 minutes, so we'll just put the first coat on. Right, so that's the first coat of primer. Just a light coat. You'll see that there's still some metal shining through, but lots of light layers, it says. And something else I picked up from Dell, when you're doing this stuff, the first one, just put it on lightly. It's the second one that you need to put on a bit heavier. But yeah, that's the first one. So we've got to let that dry for about 30 minutes or so, and then we can apply another coat. And that took almost the whole can, so it'd be interesting to see how many cans this takes to do this. I don't know how many, so out of the Halfords, those spray cans, if I got some of that primer, how much it would cover. But this certainly seems to be, that was almost a can. So we'll see how we go. I did get 3 cans, so hopefully we got enough. Right, that's the second coat of primer, and it pretty much was 1 can per layer. So, but that's the second layer, so there's still a bit more in the second can, and I've got a whole third can if need be. But that's where we're at the moment. Right, it's not really any different. This is the third coat on, so I've got to let that dry, and that's taken 2 cans to do that to the third coat. and I've got one can left, so I am going to apply that on there as well. So just another 30 minutes to wait. Right, and that's the fourth and final coat. A thicker coat this time. You pretty much used the remainder of the last can. So there we go. Now, it says we've got to let that dry for about 24 hours, and then we'll come back and we'll see how that's gone. Right, so that's it for another episode of Hooner's Garage. Got to let that dry for about 24 hours before we can start applying the paints. I've got all the other ones, all the blacks and the whites. So it will be cut the two sides of that into 6 sections. So it'll be a satin black, a matte black, a gloss black, a gloss white, a matte white, and then I'll give this another go. And then once that's dried, use the masking tape to put some lines across it. Spray again so it's black on white, or white on black, or black on black, or whatever. And then lacquer half of it and just see what it looks like. It's just a test piece. I have been told I'm barking by somebody today. That's a lot of work just run, but I don't really want to think of it in my head, put it on the bike and then think that I don't like it. So this is just a way of figuring out exactly what I want it to look like first. Might be a bit overkill, but there we go. So anyway, I shall see you on the next episode of Hooner's Garage.